Hi there, it's Dr. Jennifer and Dr. Scott Waddell, and we want to share with you some key tips about what you can do to keep your immune system as optimized as possible by focusing on the nutritional component. And it's always important to keep our health high, but particularly under times of stress and immunocompromise, we want to really boost it up even more. We decided that it was going to be important to address this after I went to Trader Joe's at the beginning of this whole shopping sprees that people are doing. And when I went into the store, there were all the organic produce things still in stock. All the dairy and meat were in stock, but there was not one bag of chips anywhere on that aisle. And during times of stress, we tend to want to eat comfort food, but we're going to talk today about how that actually damages your immune system. So we want to start with carbohydrates. What we're going to do is we can differentiate between healthy carbs versus damaged carbs. Now, the damaged carbs are what you want to stay away from, and by damaged carbs, I mean sugar. And sugar are things that don't even have to be sweet. It's refined grains and breads and pastas. These things begin to break down as soon as we put them in our mouth with the saliva. And even though they're not sweet, they become glucose or sugar in our bodies. And it's very toxic for our body. It boosts our insulin levels, which we don't want. It creates inflammation in our body. They fuel all disease processes and cancer, and it's been shown to actually reduce our immune system when we eat sugar and things that turn easily into sugar. So in that category, as I said, are grains. We also have sodas. And even artificial sodas have their own damage to them, so you got to stay away from them as well. But in this category, which might be a surprise to many people, are actually fruit and fruit juices. And because the reason for that is they have what's called a very high glycemic index, which means that they go right into this surge of fruit sugar in your bloodstream, which keeps that blood sugar raised high, which increases the explosion of insulin in your body, which is a dangerous situation to have. So those are the things you want to stay away from in terms of carbohydrates.
Yeah, and that also includes fruit juice as well. So what you want to do is you want to have a diet that's high in green leafy vegetables, bright colorful vegetables, cruciferous vegetables, all kinds of vegetables, as long as they have a low glycemic index, are going to be very good to support healthy function and a proper immune response. All those vegetables are high in nutrients and minerals, and you want to make sure that you get organic vegetables as much as possible. The Environmental Working Group has every year they come out with a list of what's called the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen. So the Clean 15 are products that you can consume without being certified organic. And if it's on the list of the Dirty Dozen, that's you definitely want to have that be certified organic. We're going to include a link down below in our comments with each of those. So just make sure that you're getting a clean, organic source as much as possible of your carbohydrates. And when you take a look at your plate when you're eating, you want to have about 70% of your plate be the healthy vegetables, and then we're going to talk about the other two components.
Yeah, good. So you want to talk about damaged fats now?
So we want to stay away from damaged fats. And in our Standard American Diet, the acronym for the Standard American Diet is SAD, and it is SAD. So we take a look that most people consume a ton of damaged, unhealthy fats in the form of a lot of processed foods, junk foods, crackers, cookies, anything that comes in packages. Is a lot of it has high vegetable oil. When you hear the term vegetable oil, you think, well, that's probably a healthy oil, but it's not. So we want to stay away from anything that's sunflower, safflower, corn oil, canola oil. All those are turned rancid in the body. They're easily oxidized, and they spike your omega-6 ratio in the body, which is pro-inflammatory, and you want to stay away from that. So anything that's trans fats, hydrogenated fats, margarine, you want to stay away from any of those kind of fats.
That's right. And probably the number one ingredient that's missing in our diets is good, healthy fat. And we need this for our brain function. We need it for all our cell membranes, all of our cells, period, to function correctly. And healthy fats are things like avocados and macadamia nuts, nut butters and seeds. You want to stay away from roasted nuts, though, because the roasting process actually creates a rancid fat and it makes that nut toxic. So raw nuts are phenomenal. Walnuts are great. Avocado oils, olive oil, and olives. These are wonderful things that we want to put into our diet. If you choose to eat dairy, you want to choose dairy from an organic source. They call it grass-fed butter. A brand like Kerrygold, Trader Joe's has that, is a great one. Even Costco actually has that too. So you want to keep your dairy as pure as possible, organic as much as possible, because just like when we talk about the protein, whatever made up that product, that goes right into you. It's not just what the animal ate.
Good.
Yep. Okay, and then the next thing is, let's talk about protein. So protein is an interesting thing, and most of us eat way too much protein, but even more important than the amount of protein is the damage to the protein. When you look at eating, if you're a meat eater, if you look at eating organic, you want to do that because the animals are at the top of the food chain, and we get this bioaccumulation effect of toxins when the higher up the food chain you go. So if you eat an animal that's conventionally raised, fed grains, given hormones, given antibiotics, you take that in, just like we were saying before. So it's not what you ate, it's what you ate. Does that make sense? So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that that comes into you as pure as possible. So if you're going to go organic, that's where you want to do it. You want to eat wild-caught fish, because farm fish, again, are also fed grains, which is not their natural diet.
I'm supposed to be doing the good protein.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
That was bad protein. Oh, no, it was good protein. Okay. So, what else for the bad protein? Shellfish. Okay, they're very toxic, and they're very acidic, and they accumulate all those toxins. You want to go for eliminating conventionally raised, not only meats, but protein, chicken and turkey as well, and eggs. So eliminate just conventionally raised eggs. Okay.
So let's talk about the good protein. And just so you know, a good range of protein is approximately 0.5 grams per pound of lean body weight. So that's an ideal measurement. Anything more than that, and you don't want to have a large amount of protein in any one meal, because that spikes something called mTOR. mTOR pathways stimulate cancer growth, but that's for another video. So if you're going to be, let's talk about meats like beef. Beef, you want grass-fed, grass-finished. Poultry or turkey, you want to have pastured, free-range, where it's not fed a diet of grains that have GMO, have a lot of herbicides, pesticides, and spike that omega-6 pro-inflammatory cascade that happens in your body. And that goes true for your eggs. You want them pastured. And then the other thing is, if you're going to be doing seafood, you want to stay away from the large fish that bioaccumulate those toxins that are in the ocean, the heavy metals. So you want to stay with small wild-caught fish like sardines, anchovies, mackerel, and herring, or a good source of wild-caught like Alaskan salmon or Pacific salmon from British Columbia. Those are good sources of fish, and you can get those in canned or fresh. Definitely stay away from the farmed. And as much as you can, I want you to think about, if you are going through your grocery store, or you're looking in your pantry, and you pick up a product and it's boxed or canned, if you take a look at the ingredient label, and if there's more than like 2 or 3 ingredients on it, very often, it's a good bet that there are artificial things in there that aren't going to be good for your body. So you want to stay away from that. Stabilizers, preservatives, chemicals that don't do good with your body. And we want to do everything we can at this time to make sure we're as healthy as possible and that our immune system is up to its best level that it can possibly be, so that we can stay healthy and strong. So until our next video, take care. Please share and pass this along. Please comment down below if you have any questions on diet, nutrition, or anything you are doing regarding your health, and we'll do our best to answer it.
Take care. Bye-bye.